Picture this. The year is 113 AD. Rome has just reached 1.2 million people, the largest city on Earth. Emperor Trajan rules an empire stretching from Britannia to the deserts of Mesopotamia. But what was it actually like to spend a single day here? Not as an emperor or a senator, but as an ordinary person navigating the world's first true megacity. Using AI trained on archaeological evidence and historical records, we've reconstructed what 24 hours in ancient Rome actually looked like. No Hollywood highlights, no marble fantasies. We're talking about the real city, the crowds, the noise, the smell of human waste mixing with fresh bread, the constant danger. From dawn to midnight, this is what life was actually like in ancient Rome. Let's step back 1900 years. Dawn. The sun hasn't broken over the 7 hills yet, but Rome is already awake. You're lying on a straw mattress in an insula, a 5-story apartment block in the Suburra district. 50,000 people crammed into a few city blocks. Your room is on the 4th floor, a single space barely wide enough to turn around. No running water up here, no windows, no kitchen, just wooden walls so thin you hear every conversation in the building. The insula creaks as people begin moving. These buildings are death traps. Fires break out constantly. Collapses kill dozens. Landlords build cheap and tall, ignoring height limits. You swing your legs off the bed, the floor's cold. Your clothes are the same ones you wore yesterday because you only own one set. Rough wool tunic, leather sandals with holes. You grab the clay chamber pot from the corner. Later, someone will empty it out the window into the street below. Poets complain about this constantly. Getting drenched in urine while walking is a genuinely Roman experience. You head down the narrow stairwell. The smell intensifies. Urine, smoke, rot, sweat. Outside, the city is already moving. Merchants hauling carts, shopkeepers setting up awnings, beggars taking positions. Noise builds gradually but never stops. Delivery carts are banned during the day, so they flood the streets at night. The wheels scream over stone. Drivers curse. No one in Rome sleeps well. Morning. First priority, water. You join a line at the public fountain. Aqueducts bring millions of gallons into the city every day. But up in the insulae, there are no pipes. Water must be carried. You fill a clay jug, careful not to crack it. Next, the public baths. This is the Baths of Trajan, covering 11 hectares. Entry costs almost nothing. Everyone comes here. Slaves, shopkeepers, even senators. You pay your coin and leave your clothes with an attendant. Then you enter the caldarium, the hot room. Slaves tend furnaces beneath the floor, heating the space until you can barely breathe. Then the tepidarium, warm and steamy. Finally, the frigidarium, a freezing plunge pool. The shock is the point. While you're here, you get a shave from a barber. No soap, just a bronze razor scraped across your skin. It hurts, but being clean-shaven marks you as civilized. You also hear the day's gossip. Which senator was caught with someone's wife? Who's hiring for day labor? The baths are not just about water, they're about being Roman. Mid-morning, you head toward the Roman Forum, the heart of everything. The noise is overwhelming. Lawyers shouting, politicians delivering speeches, hawkers selling honey cakes and stolen jewelry. Crowds surge in every direction. Pickpockets work openly. You're here to witness a contract signing. Romans don't have notaries. Legal agreements require witnesses, usually 7 free citizens. 2 grain merchants finalize a deal in front of the Basilica Julia, where 4 separate trials are happening simultaneously inside. Lawyers scream over each other, crowds cheer or jeer. Roman trials are public entertainment. After the contract is signed, you walk past the Temple of Saturn, where Rome's treasury is kept. Past the Senate House, where speeches that changed the world were delivered. You're surrounded by history. But you're not a tourist. You're here to survive. And survival means eating. Midday. By noon, hunger drives you toward Trajan's Market, built into the Quirinal Hill. Over 150 shops spread across 6 levels. Fish from Ostia, garum, fermented fish sauce that Romans put on everything. Spices from India, wine from Greece, Olive oil from Spain. If it exists, you can buy it here. You head to a thermopolium, a fast food counter built into the street. You order a bowl of stew. Chickpeas, lentils, maybe some mystery meat. Bread comes with it. Romans eat bread with everything. The city consumes 400,000 tons of grain every year, most from Egypt. If those grain ships stop, Rome starves. That's why emperors give free grain to 200,000 citizens. Keep the people fed. Keep them quiet. You eat standing. The food is warm, filling, and forgettable. This is fuel, not pleasure. Afternoon. After lunch, you head to the Colosseum. Today's game started at dawn with animal hunts. Now it's time for gladiators. The Colosseum holds 50,000 people. The crowd is sorted by class. Senators sit in front on marble seats. Common citizens like you in the upper levels. Women and slaves at the very top, standing room only. The gladiators enter through tunnels beneath the arena. These aren't random criminals. Most are trained professionals. Some are slaves. Some are freedmen. A few are volunteers who sign contracts for money and fame. Successful gladiators become wealthy. Women write them love letters. Children collect figurines. The fight begins. A murmillo, heavily armored with shield and sword, versus a retiarius nearly naked, armed with net and trident. The retiarius darts around, trying to tangle the murmillo's legs. The murmillo presses forward. The crowd roars. Then it's over. The retiarius is down, bleeding from a shoulder wound. The crowd decides. Thumbs up, mercy. Thumbs down, death. Today, they're generous. He lives. The next fight starts immediately. You stay for 2 more fights, then leave. Enough blood for 1 day. Early evening. By late afternoon, you head back toward the Suburra. If you were wealthy, you'd go home to your domus, a private house with a garden. But you're heading back to that cramped room in a building that could collapse tonight. Dinner is simple: bread and cheese, maybe olives. You don't cook. Cooking fires in wooden buildings are how half the city burns down. So you eat cold food or buy something from a street stall. Taverns are an option, but they have a bad reputation. Gambling, prostitution, knife fights. But half the city eats there anyway because they have no choice. As the sun sets, Rome changes. The streets empty of merchants and fill with different people. No police force patrols the city. The vigils focus on fires, not crime. Muggings are common, murders happen, bodies turn up in the Tiber regularly. The wealthy travel in litters with armed guards. The poor take their chances. Meanwhile, the delivery carts return, hundreds of them. Oxen pulling wagons loaded with grain, wine, building stone. The wheels scream over cobblestones. The noise is relentless. Roman poets complained you couldn't sleep even if you wanted to. They were right. Night. You're back in your room as darkness falls. No lamps, oil costs money. You lie on your straw mattress fully clothed. The building creaks. Voices drift through the walls. You close your eyes knowing that in a few hours the sun will rise, and you'll do this all over again. So that was 24 hours in ancient Rome. Not the marble temples or emperors. The real city. 1.2 million people somehow making it work. Aqueducts and sewers, yes, but also human waste in the streets. Public baths where everyone bathed together. Insulae where families shared one room. Free grain for the poor. Gladiators dying for entertainment. Rome invented urban living on this scale. They made mistakes. But they also figured out how to feed 1 million people, how to give them water, entertainment, a sense of belonging to something larger. 2,000 years later, we're still using their blueprint. Thanks for watching. Creating these reconstructions takes enormous research, piecing together evidence from archaeology and ancient texts. If you want to see more lost cities brought back to life, subscribe and let me know in the comments. What ancient city should we reconstruct next?